quick, like and subscribe if you want to be gifted skins the next time you play Fortnite.
10,000 total dollars here for the prize pool. Once again, brought to you guys by Epic. So big thank yous to them, just enabling the community. This is a first for us and a first for many here today. We're going to be looking at the players really soon. The battle bus is basically cooking here. We're throwing all of our competitors into the lobbies right now. We want to take a look at our players that are coming in today. This, oh man, this is such a stacked kind of situation going on here. I think this first page here is all NA East gods.
Yeah, NA East is going to be here in majority today. Not to say that there's not other regions represented, but holy moly, just look at the names you see here. I tried to pick apart weak links in any of the regions, and my God, was it difficult. We got people all the way from Tfue to Dubs, Zextro, Kaz, the solo cash cup warrior himself, all going to be playing for that big cash prize money and the reputation leading up to Anaheim.
I mean, something to think about, like, as we continue to just kind of browse through these player lists here, we're looking at our veterans, right? Veterans that have done tournament after tournament. A lot of these guys have been playing in solo tournaments, and they date way back, right, to the early dawns of times, as early as Summer Skirmish. We have competitors here, and take a look. We're just going to continue to fly through these players. And now take a look here. This is our EU hitters. And guys, if you're in the Twitch chat, you got to, like, honestly, you got to give these guys the most respect, okay? And let me tell you why. They're playing from the EU. They don't care about the fact that all these games are going to be on NA East, right? They're here to show up and still play their best games.
Yeah, and they got 2 brains per head, basically, the amount of smartness coming out of this region. So to say they're at a disadvantage, I'm not sure, because the IQ might just suffice.
Hey, Fortnite Moments fans. Want more V-Buck giveaways? Make sure to use code BEAST in the item shop. And we'll continue to give out redemption codes just like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out.
As we hop into game 1.
That's right. The green light is underway, and players are now jumping off into the world right here. We're looking at Sin Aspect. And remember, guys, we will have access to the spectator client today as well, so we'll be able to see just about everything. And oh man, Sin Aspect, what a veteran. He's been around for so long. You know, Aspect and Animal, some of my favorite players to watch early on in the competitive days. We have Bugha tuning in today. Everyone's showing up for the tournament right now.
Yeah, right now going to be flying over into Lazy Lake, which is Bugha's kind of spot. Doesn't matter what queue it is, duos, squads, trios, solo is going to be the main one here. Everyone is going to be basically combined and clash cross-regional, seeing exactly how they play and exactly how they pop off. Right now, though, one of the things we do see in solos is that preliminary landing and beam that happens in a lot of places. A quick landing here by Macwood, who's been very hyped up and practicing grinding every possible ladder now against the top competition.
That is exactly how it is, man. And this is that early game action right now that, you know, we know and love, right? We want to see these players touch down. We want to see them get comfortable, get their loot together. Steamy Stacks being the place of the home for Macwood. And oh gosh, we have a fight already. We talked about Colorful coming in as a ringer, basically to fill in for players that weren't going to be able to make do today. He's looking to break down this fight right here. Only held up on one more structure. A couple shots right here, Shio. This is not looking good for him. It's only 80 material early game battle, sitting on 2 big pots. There's so much more that he could be doing right now. Instead, he's wasting time fighting.
Ooh, time wasted is also profits gained, as he gets an entire refresh on that medal that he used in that fight.
Possible without the support of the community. And look at this. We're just kind of hopping back and forth. We're looking at Blake Epps, right? Someone who's been on the scene, again, just a part of our ecosystem for so long. And he doesn't look like he's free of charge right now with some players nearby. And that's what happens when you put all these players into one server. There's still 81 guys remaining in this game.
He's done so many shots.
This is definitely going to go down to Storm Surge 100% at some point. You talked about ecosystems over there, Monster. 100% the things these guys have been doing when it comes to just the off time, the off season between all these tournaments that they're also used to. Blake, actually, you know, the whole box fight type of stream wave that's going on. This man's been grinding them daily. They're going to be playing to their strengths. You'll see him just playing house to house, not going for, you know, huge retakes or build fights. Looks like a third party came through, snagged up his opponent. Hopefully he doesn't get snagged up himself. Go tack up in tow as well, but play to your strengths 100% for what you've been practicing recently.
And that's kind of what's going to happen here in the solo kind of format, especially, right? It's every man for themselves. So no matter where you go, you're going to have more factors to kind of worry about, more eyeballs looking in at you, especially in a solo format. It's where risk is at an all-time high. There's no time for error here. And just talking about a Schmeck making such a gutsy rotation here, not, you know, choosing to kind of build for so long, just kind of, you know, wriggling his way through all the builds there. Now we're coming with Vanish Jack here. We saw Jack on that first page up there with all the Titans to look out for in this season. Oh, he's not looking that good right now here in the Elite Cup today. 80 health, no shield.
I mean, he got a fishing rod, though. This man can definitely, hopefully, even maybe fight all these harpoons towards that end game, try to get some type of say on an impact frag, but definitely right there, Monster. There's no chance of a normal game happening for him. Has to get real creative with it. With the stackers still, you know, barely even dwindling, I think second zone Storm Surge will start ticking in about 40 seconds. Right now, Lyrison on the other side of Loot RNG, looking very good, a little bit of a rainbow loadout, has some of the biggest amount of shields in Arsenal that I've seen recently in solo scrims, almost max big pots and room for floppers as well.
This is someone we're going to have to look out for, see where he's landing later on today. Take a look at the overworld view right now of the map. Once again, we have that spectator client that allows us to kind of really hone in. Ghost Bizzle, dead center right here. Someone that we haven't seen quite shine as of late. You see Airwalks just south of him as well. And just on the outer outskirts of the zone there, Clix, Epic Whale, and others, all just kind of hanging, right? Hanging around the outskirts, trying to get into their rotations. And look, Shio, the zone just pulled. It pulled right over Benji Fishy and company that are sitting over by the lake.
Yeah, Lazy Lake, there's a bunch of different people who've dropped in and just rotated in earlier. Their loot might not be as hot as a bunch of people rotating later. That's why on Edge, you'll see a lot of people getting beamed and losing health a little bit quickly compared to those in the middle just getting shot by blue and green ARs. Right now, Jesus Christ, Animal, literally a monster moving forward with this loadout. Almost full fish and shields to boot. Man's playing a natural game, won't have a harpoon to kind of replenish anything, but he's going to be in a very good spot.
And look at this here. We meet again. Mr. Savage and Benji have faced off as opponents in solos more than any other player in this tournament today, playing against one another 18 times. Just behind them is Epic Whale and Rex with 16 different total engagements over the course of their competitive careers. And remember, guys, we have the wonderful Prodigy Analytics in our corner, bringing us some of that extra just kind of insight and layer of depth to the competition on our competitors today. So all the information we need is going to be provided by them. That's a great pickup right there. Benji and Savage, always going against each other on EU. It's kind of crazy. A little more methodical with his positioning, but he's avoiding congestion. When you saw that world map, all the players were on the western side of the map. They're going to have such a tough time coming into the later rotation in the zones. We'll see how that's going to play out. Talk about people that were just comfortable already. We have Benji Fishy right in the middle, right outside of Lazy Lake already.
RP's going to be flying right by him, but he's just going to be looking through an edited cone to kind of gain some information on what's going on. Just like Nanolite, he's going to be sitting in the center with a sniper rifle, but not going to have that much ammo left in it. So every shot he has to take has to be hitting for that crucial Storm Surge that should be ticking in about 1 minute. If 4 players don't go down, this specific zone as well, kind of hard to traverse once, you know, the next zone locks in. So many different mountains, the aspect of water near Lazy Lake, this POI just being fully farmed out by multiple players, Cease being one of them. If you're here, you're at an advantage, but if the zone pulls out, the whole game just flips on you.
Yeah, anything can happen, especially when you're in the middle of these zones. And look, Cease has a little bit of company. He's got a neighbor. It's an angry neighbor. Someone's banging on his walls as well, trying to see if he can get a little take back right there. But Cease not paying him any mind right now. Looks like he had to sacrifice quite a bit to get to where he is. And you can see the rockets are coming in. This is why his material isn't quite capped out as some of the other competitors we've seen who've already gotten comfortable within this Lazy Lake terrain here. Now jumping over with Bucky and Milan. A little bit of a fight right now. Storm Surge was a thing just a bit ago, but now we're down to that 70-player threshold, so it won't be anything to worry about anymore. And just looking at the map really quickly, look at how many players are inside Lazy Lake.
That north side being the most congested towards the west, you talked about it. If this zone ends up bouncing back towards the west, everyone's safe right now on the east and center. Gonna have another tough time. No, it actually bounced straight to Lazy Lake as people suddenly start to move, rotate as fast as possible. We'll see if there's beams on rotation. Symmetrical going to be one of the players who's actually inside. One of his win conditions is actually getting this zone. He can use that momentum to keep moving forward, possibly dropping that brick to bait out anyone down below. It's not going to happen, but staying edge here might be a risk too.
Absolutely. If he stays here, all the players, they're just going to end up landing right on top of him. I mean, as we can tell, he does have a little bit of height, so it gives him a little bit of comfort not being on the bottommost layer. But the game is only going to get tougher from here on out, as 70 players, just about 70 players are still up right now. So many players are trying to make this desperate rotation right now. Look at this. Such a risky move, cutting right through Lazy Lake. No problem while players are distracted, kind of getting their farm on. They're already on the move. Benji's moved out of Lazy already to the northeastern side of the map. And look at these other players. Clix has found his way southern somehow as well. And Aspect still one of the only like kind of lone players back there. He's getting his farm on.
This absolute monster of a lobby.
That is right. And if you're in the Twitch chat right now, enjoying yourself watching the competition, we want to know from you and hear from you guys. Make sure you tag us at the practice server on social media. Drop your thoughts, drop your predictions, drop your feelings, because this is crunch time. We're getting to that make or break moment where our favorite competitors are going to start falling. It's just a matter of time before these engagements really begin to clash and the box battles begin. Now jumping over with Diggy here, sitting high in the sky. He's got a little bit of a mountain perch. No reason for him to move right now, but all this kind of extra noise he's making here. He's peeking out.
Now, what does game one mean to these guys? Like, how important is it to have momentum starting off and going forward for this tournament?
That's really what it all comes down to. It's about that mental kind of, situation you put yourself in. If you take that game one, you are at an all-time high. It also gives you just buffer, right? The winners of these tournaments, they're typically the ones that don't make a mistake. You can't afford to drop a game. So if you come out running, basically, all you got to do is continue to maintain a consistent, just, relevant lead in some way, shape, or form, and you'll be okay. You'll find your way all the way through to the back half of the tournament. So game one matters a lot. Game one matters a lot.
Yeah, you talk about mental. One thing I'm seeing in the chat, and this is one of the benefits of doing this type of production, we can see a little bit of what the community's saying. Creo being pickaxed by Unknown Army off spawn and Slurpee. Gonna see if that actually affects him in any way, shape, moving forward towards that next game. Will he change things up? Will he be a little bit more aggro? We're gonna be left to see that. Right now, though, Kanata, it doesn't matter if you're aggro, if you're making decisions. You got to move and pray the server doesn't look at you all the way towards an opposite zone or a central zone. So many builds in front of him. Can he take the river? It's a question to ask. Mars, though, one of the experts when it comes to solo play, when it comes to mental proficiency. He's going to be almost in zone. Zone's going to lock in. Now he has to move. Very close rotation. 65 players left alive. He has the tools of the trade as well with the AR. Not that much ammo left, though.
Mars has been taking top position since the Blackheart Cup when he made his first kind of big debut break into top 10. Now seeing him in the new chapter, Mars has been still, a solo competitor on the scene, but lately hasn't been taking any, high performances, if that makes sense. And he's super high placement spots. So today's his day to kind of make a kind of resurgence for his name here as a solo competitor, because he's someone that was feared in some previous metas. And this is his opportunity to kind of come back here. Take a look at the world view. So many big names that we know and love still alive. This is just looking like a scary lobby to be a part of. I don't even you can't even dissect that. It's just scary.
It's a horror story. We have Unknown on a mid-ground brick box where we literally just see him getting every possible dink out if possible. And then we got Cooler Aqua all the way up top, staying high, fly, waiting for the whole server to kind of move around, see what he can do. These guys are in their winning condition. Rex is just alive in endgame. That speaks monumental, complete disaster for a lot of other people, because the only time this guy doesn't place is if he just doesn't get out of mid-game at all. Here's Unknown in his box with an AUG. Doesn't have too many shots left in it, but I only think he needs one burst to make sure he lands that impact frag.
One thing we know about Unknown Army is that when he gets on fire, he comes in hot. He continues that streak on and all the way through. In addition to his first place over at the NA East FNCS squad finals with Kez, Ronaldo, and Avery, he also boasts up 11 top 10 finishes in solo cash clips. I think it's probably the most of any player ever. Maybe like Benji. I don't know. Benji's got a bunch as well, but that'd be a fun kind of stat to know. But yeah, Unknown's crazy with it.
Unknown's crazy with it when all those kind of, semi-final qualifier lobbies, but definitely the question is when it's up into that big boss, the high roller table, will the man be betting big or will he be folding out ultimately? Right now, Storm Surge is going to be the one thing that's going to be on the mind for a lot of people once we go into this half and half circle that Fuzzy gets the absolute central position on. He's above, he's big chilling, but someone is knocking on his door.
If there's anyone that needs it, it's Fuzzy right now, who Again, has no shield, so having his zone right here is going to be a huge benefit for him right now to sit kind of comfortable and wait this one out just a little bit. Remember, after top 50 players finally start earning their consistency for placement points, so technically no one in the lobby's gotten a point so far unless you got an Elim, but that's not going to be a good exchange for him right there. Wavy is going to go ahead and catch that one right there, and now we're coming over to Diggy here as we're kind of moving along as everyone has to scramble across for the rotation. The shots are coming in right now. He's doing still a really good job for what it's worth, kind of staying alive here. Jumping with Elevate's perspective. He's also on the short side of the rotation here. Has to heal up.
Getting back into his little analysis roots exactly and how to dissect the game is what Elevate's kind of been preaching on Twitter. At the moment, though, as we move off of him, everyone's going to be going in towards that left side of the zone. As soon as you peek over the high ground, like we saw Diggy do, that's where you have to use a majority of your mats if you don't want to get shot. Exactly Kanata's game plan moving forward. No shields left is kind of the theme we're seeing for a lot of people as well. He'll have to pop a med kit before he gets in the zone.
Diggy, Kanata, Elevate, all the players here rotating on the same exact side right now. Little box fight. Kanata's going to go ahead and not win the exchange on the shot right there, but this golden pump can really bail him out of any situation should he need to, so he is still all right. He's going to go ahead and opt in to pop that second med kit now. Probably the last opportunity he's going to get here. Now jumping in with Macwood is doing his best to go ahead and tunnel in. 43 players in the lobby, so tons of players have now dropped since the last time we checked in with the count there. Macwood's got all kinds of pressure in here. Material still looking very good for what it's worth, and it's going to double back from the way that he just came.
Yeah, this is, I was going to really mention it. Going all the way over from Steamy Stacks and arriving all the way here, having max without an impact frag, I believe, even if he does have one, ending a fight that fast mid-game, if you took a part in one, is just amazing in terms of a game plan, in terms of pure game sense and rotation. We'll see exactly if you can follow through with that. But still, on high ground form for zone, it's cooler Aqua, who's going to be all the way up top with a huge investment, with the zone bouncing back as well. I guarantee he's going over old mats. So many people just kind of walking around in that mid ground, so many big names. Can they be taken down from all this pressure?
Aqua's sitting so pretty up on height right now, and those metal cones, we'll see if that ends up playing a factor here. I think it will, though, because the zone, like I said, is going back for the majority of the players here. Zextro using a little 2-mat material conservation rotate right now, as is High Sky. These, again, were popularized by players like Bugha, who really love to do these over-the-head ramp rotates. And now look at Aqua's perspective here. He's jumping down. He says he wants a piece of the action here. He doesn't care if he's playing from the European region. He's ready to bring it here. He is on hype for game one. Things are looking very good for him right now as it stands with this burst. It's all he needs to lay down some big shots. He's got actually a maxed out loadout right here. It's perfect for the pressure play that he needs to put down.
Yeah, definitely all the gas being pushed straight through. The question is, what turns do you make? As well, all the way from height, you have to be taking a part in that checklist, just like Animals doing that mid-ground one where you just move forward, look away, box to box after you box up, and look for beams. Be careful of your back, wait for zone to pop. Does it bounce back? Yes, just a little bit for Animal. For Aqua, it's a completely different story. You have to make sure you're taking every single mid-ground player down with pressure. If anyone gets a little bit even of a chance in zone with floppers, your entire game could be taken away, your win condition robbed. He's going to be very careful reconnecting as he moves forward.
Exactly why he was pressuring Cease for a second there. Zextro tries to make a stab for the high ground there. It's not going to be enough. Aqua catches him in time. Cease is going to fall to the storm because of the damage that he did. Just that little bit of holding. Now he's going to box with someone. Can he make the shot right here? It's Natolite. Now he's going to get hit just enough. And I think the zone's going to take him out right there. That's going to convert for Aqua. Aqua is running the show right now.
Running the show, absolutely, but there are some commercial breaks away in his builds from all these P90s that are getting wrapped all the way back straight towards him. He does have floppers to stay in zone just a little bit. The zone is basically his allies. This man just might be playing some duos right now in the way he's manipulating all these players to stay in it with this P90 pressure. Ammo still 100 bullets left of light as he drops down for that final 8 zone conversions before the 9th. Riverson up in a little bit of trouble.
See, Riverson was just popping off in the feed for a second there, catching Lyrison. He's in the thick of it, down in the trenches in the low ground. Now Diggy, also no health. Riverson's going to find another one somehow, still in the run. That's going to be the replenish that he needs. Diggy has only 27 effective HP right now. He's looking at the storm here, and that's not going to be enough. One AR shot's going to take him out. Riverson from the storm zone is going to send in the rocket, and the high ground is his now. Aqua is no longer free, but he's going to find a quick pick in the bottom half right here, Shayo.
EU was on top, but West is suddenly taking over as Riverson makes a huge flopper play. No mats available to the close range. Tac versus Tac fighting. Aqua is the one that flows, comes out on top. Europe takes game one.
Not enough. Even with the height coming back, Riverson had a fantastic time in the low ground. Somehow Europe manages to secure game 1. I mean, they don't call him a world champion player for no reason here, don't they, Shayo?
No, that was straight up just a feint and a big left hook straight back on the river. Give him the game, the position just for a little bit. But Europe, as you said, World Cup winners. If it's duos, doesn't matter. Solos just bounce straight back and take that title too in game 1.
I got one thing to say, Twitch chat. Can I get an EU on top, please? Just real quick. Okay, I see you guys. EU really popping off right here. I can't believe Aqua came through and represented for the boys, even against all odds. I honestly, I gotta say, I didn't think it was gonna be possible for a European player to, you know, make it happen under these intense settings. I mean, there's so many players that we didn't see at all, right? Mongraal was not a factor at all for a little bit. Benji was sitting comfortable in the middle, and then like Aqua out of nowhere had height. But for what it's worth, West as well. All these players that like are battling these pings, they were the final ones in the last circle.
Yeah, everyone who just wasn't first was basically a West player all the way till the very end. These East players getting taken out time and time again near that storm in the third circle. Big thing to point out in terms of EU on top. Aqua literally on the highest point of the zone, I believe starting halfway through fourth circle and holding it the whole way through. If ping is a disadvantage, stop building roofs above your head essentially was his win condition there.